Check 1, 2. If you can hear me, let me know. The speech captioner may or may not be working again. I'm not positive. Let me know if you can see it. Anyone watching the stream right now. Good evening if you're tuning in from from a time zone to the west of the Atlantic Ocean. Good morning to everyone else, I suppose, as I set up and get ready for stream. Fantastic. Nice to see you guys. Hello again, Jason. Hello again, Thumper. Hello again, Fallen Phoenix 4. Welcome back to stream. Anyone tuning in right now, of course, you can skip ahead to when the timer starts at 0, and I will be reviewing the TTRPG of the day, Dead Friend: A Game of Necromancy. The timer right now is just for me to settle in from a day at work and to catch up with anybody in chat a little bit early. If you got a second or two to check out the prompt that we have right now, how do you handle revival in your games? Interesting question. Everybody handles it a little bit differently, of course, and every game, you know, has their own rules for it if it's applicable. I got everything sorted out on my end. Necromancy is totally misunderstood. Interested in what you mean by that. It's a bit unusual for me to have everything ready to go at the start of the stream. Usually I'm scrambling to put things together, but I think today's going to be a simple stream. Hello, Taryn. Welcome back. Hello, Lope. Nice to see you. Text-to-speech says Darren and Lope. Spelled a little bit differently. Yeah, I think necromancy, as portrayed in many games, is either the returning of a soul to the body or just manipulating an already departed body, so to speak. But anyway, let's jump into... Yeah, the text-to-speech is not perfect, and it's, you know, a little bit charming in its imperfection. But today, let's jump into the stream. Let's talk about Dead Friend, a game of necromancy. This is a game I found on its creator day and bought on that day, but I actually saw it a couple months ago. This game has been around since 2018, 2019, I believe. So I'm gonna pull up the Chrome page and get you there. Give you a second. So you can find this game. Let me make sure that I have the right page. Yes, something like this. Yes, yeah. So you can find this game on itch.io. You can also find it, I believe, on Hitpoint Press and Indie Point Revolution. Indie Press Revolution. There's multiple places you can buy this game. It has been around for a while. It has quite a fan base, I gotta say. It's been around for a good while. There are physical versions of this game that I believe I kind of lost my train of thought there, but this is basically a game I've been looking at for a long time. It has been recommended as something that I'd be interested in. The author of the game designer of this game is Lucian Khan. Surprisingly, very, very difficult to find or contact. I wish I could reach out to them about being able to cover this game, but I believe their accolades speak for themselves. They have multiple award-winning and nominating games in their collection of releases, and they're very well known, at least in the indie creator community. So I'm looking forward to covering this game called Dead Friend. Let's get into it. Now, I will tell you guys that this game is only 15 pages long. So I don't expect this to be a long stream, but I am very curious on the approach they take, because this seems like a very, very specific niche of game meant to tell a very specific story. So I'm curious on how it goes, and I'm glad you're joining me to read it. Let's dive in. Okay. This is the cover. This is a pentagram. I'm starting to think that this music is not the best for this stream, but you know, let's see. Can I... Do I have a different music I could play here? Let's find out. Maybe? Maybe? Oh, dang, it's not loaded. Unfortunate. I did have other music I could have played here, but it's not loaded right now, so I'll just keeps auto playing softly in the bottom. Can I rotate a PDF? That is a great question. Well, I guess it's a two-sided thing, because this game is meant for 2 players. The top, if you can't tell, over here, I can't tell if you can see my cursor. Over here says the living, and here you write your central motivation, the dead, central motivation. I'm sure there will be... can I rotate this? I wonder. Rotate clockwise. Oh, cool, I can. I'm not assuming that we know what this means yet, but this is this page. And this is probably kind of the placemat of where the game will take place in its entirety. So, let's keep reading. Survival guide for new necromancers. As I read this, I realize the music is wholly inappropriate, but that's very, very funny. I don't know if I could find... Dang, that's unfortunate. Maybe this one? Looping? Let me check my OBS settings and see if I can find something a little bit better. It's very funny to me, actually. Oh, wait, maybe I found it. Hold on. I do want to do this justice. You guys are free to read the page ahead of me if you want. You could also just buy the game and read it yourself. But where did I put this file? Oh, it's in my streaming folder. I don't know if you guys can see what's going on stream. I don't think so. The title of this file is Spooky Loop Mixdown. Alright, how's that for a background music? That'd be a little bit better. There we go. Cool, 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 cool. If it's too loud, too soft, let me know. Let's put it like that. Okay. Survival guide for new necromancers, players, the living, a magician or witch, or someone with newfound ability to conjure spirits, the dead, friend of the living, a ghost. I think it's really interesting how they specify that the necromancer must be new at this. They're not necessarily somebody practiced or experienced in necromancy. I guess that's the appeal. Nature of the game. Dead Friend is a collaborative storytelling game for 2 players. You will each play the role of a friend, one living and one dead. You will ask and answer questions to develop the characters, their community, their history together, and the motivations leading up to their final conflict. The script follows the dramatic structure of a necromancy ritual, and you will use a spell book of instructions throughout the entire game like a witch reading spells from an ancient grimoire. The mood may be spooky or intimate, heart-wrenching or hilarious. It is up to you as storytellers. Although your characters may desire certain outcomes, your goal as a player is not to win, but to create an intriguing tale of friendship, loss, and diabolical magic. Look at this over here. Some polygons arranged diabolically. So this is honestly, and I'll be truthful with you, I do enjoy games that are battle map heavy, that have a lot of crunch to their combat. I do like full table experiences of glory and fantasy, but this is also my wheelhouse. A very close and personal game between 2 people. A little bit magic, a little bit spooky, all very comfortable to me. And as with all tabletop RPGs, or at least the great majority of them, the ultimate goal is to make an incredible story, not necessarily to win or lose. And a very specific theme like this is very, very fun. Materials of Resurrection. Print out 1 copy of the Magic Circle and 2 copies of the Spellbook, 1 for each player. 1 tarot deck or deck of mundane playing cards separated into suits. 1 large coin called the Circles coin. 1 small coin called the Star coin. I don't know what these are yet, but I'm sure I'll find out sometime soon. 2 pens or pencils. Salt is optional. 2 matches are optional, and the time is 2 to 4 hours, so a simple play session. The fine print for the witch who must know all. Storytelling guidelines. Take turns reading the spellbook's instructions aloud with a new reader each page. The story alternates between the present ritual of necromancy and flashbacks to past details of the friends' lives together, including for an all-knowing narrator or roleplay conversations between your characters. You and your partner may also use different storytelling styles than each other. Feel free to switch up styles as you go, and follow the story to develop as a patchwork. When answering prompts, you are allowed, even encouraged, to invent new details about any character in the game, including your partner's character. If your partner is having trouble thinking of a responsible prompt, wait quietly and allow them time to think. Resist the urge to offer suggestions at this point. Instead, accept the ritual's moment of silence. I do like this. This does not have to be a quick process. Feel free to take your time to come up with the best story you can. After your partner answers a prompt from the script, feel free to ask clarifying questions to enrich the world, the development of the world, and characters. Players familiar with tarot may choose to add additional story details based on their own interpretations of the card's meanings. To maintain the balance of the game, this is suggested as an enrichment of the written prompts, but not a replacement. Dead Friend is morbid by nature, but designed to entertain both players. If you would prefer to omit certain types of death from your story, for example gun violence or suicide, tell your partner at the beginning of the game. If a story detail comes up midway that ruins your enjoyment of the game, you may ask your partner to rewind the scene and retell it differently. Be kind to each other. Removing outside distractions such as social media or phone apps is strongly recommended. And we have the wonderful team behind this. Obviously, the game was made by Lucian Khan, graphic design by Miriam Nadler, and cover art by Toby Elias. And these are the playtesters of this game. It's really cool to kind of put them right at the front. Usually you find them all the way in the back of the book, but I dig this. Spellbook. Interesting. Preparing the ritual. Together, briefly describe the setting of the story. You know what? We could probably do a little bit of this. Anybody in chat, if you'd like, feel free to give me the setting of this story. We're gonna cook up a prompt or two and see how that goes. And choose a name for your character and write it in the center. So I'm gonna need a setting and a name of the person that I'll be playing. I'll try to play as the wizard or witch in this scenario. So I'll be the person trying to revive my friend. I don't really have a second person to play this with, but I'm just gonna do an example prompt if there is one towards the end of this game, just to see how it would play out, or an example if you're interested in trying this yourself. And then choose one of the central conflicts below to guide the plot of your story. Each write your character's motivation from the central conflict in the designated spaces of the left and right of the pentagram. The magician and the tower are recommended for beginners. The conflicts are named after tarot cards. You may wish to draw one at random. Ooh, this is cool. Okay, so what I dig about this section is you're going to draw this at random mostly, but you could choose one preferably if you'd like. This lists the specific motivations of each character and kind of set a theme or motif of your character to take as you play. The magician is just a very, very simple one, and honestly really, really cool. The living, so the person trying to revive, is trying to bring the dead friend back to life. But the dead is trying to kill my friend. Probably because they were involved in the death somehow. This is just such a simple but effective story prompt, and I love that. You know what we could do? This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so let's just roll a d4 and see which one we get. Let's do that. Dice roller. D4. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 3. Okay. Simple enough. So we're going to do the devil. Ooh, spooky. Will this stream get demonetized? We're about to find out. My goal as the person resurrecting is you wish to gain otherworldly power from your dead friend. The friend. You wish to own your friend's soul. Ooh, double antagonist angle. I kind of dig that. It's really funny. So both of them are kind of selfish in their motivations. Okay, so I'm going to be playing the living. I'm going to check chat right now and see what you guys have put as suggestions. I'm gonna take one thing from Fallen Phoenix, so somewhere in the 1920s. Sure, we'll chuck it in the 1920s. And my name is October Weatherheart. Okay, sure. Honestly, I'm a big fan, either ironically or in real life, of people named after months. I think someone named January is actually the most quirky thing. So I'll take it. 1920s October Weatherheart. My name is October Weatherheart. We can actually chuck that here and then see where it goes. Let's see. So we're gonna rotate. So as an example, I would put my name. I guess my name doesn't go here yet. Okay, whatever. That's fine. So what happens here? Part 1. Ooh, what is this optional rule? Optional. Each player strikes a match. As soon as the matches are aflame, the ritual begins. Whoever's match goes out first will play the dead. Ooh, spooky. Thumper says we want to win a motor race with a demon car. In 1920s? Were cars around in the 1920s? Actually, someone could tell me that. I'm sure somebody knows. Lope suggests 1690s America. I have no idea what happened in 1690s America. I'm gonna be real with you. Anyway, part 1. This is the first part of the ritual, earth and water. Setting the scene. So I'm gonna do the living prompts. Place the magic circle in the center of the table. Sprinkle a large circle of salt around the paper for protection, or mime this. Place one pen near yourself and the other near the dead. Place the circle coin, the large coin, heads up slightly outside the circle, so that it touches the word east. Place the star coin, the small coin, heads up on the altar. So that it touches the word east. I actually want to see what this looks like. So, touches the word east. Oh, so you would put the large coin here. Like right here at the top. And then the small coin goes here. Okay. The living. You are preparing to perform a dangerous ritual of necromancy. Describe the scene of your preparations. Is it day or night? Are you outside or inside? What can you see, hear, or smell? Splotchy Ink. Hey, what's up, Splotchy Ink? I love how you're coming in with the first thing you say is the facts. Yes, the Model T was sold between 1905 and 1925. Perfect. Okay, so in this scene, I am the living. My goal is to gain otherworldly power from your dead friend. So what I'm going to do is this. My preparations happen late at night when the entirety of a car factory within my city is vacated. I'm on the night shift. This is my usual post. And I know that nobody's around during this hour. It's just me and a couple of dim lights coming from the windows from lanterns that line the outside. What can I see, hear, or smell? I see a number of conveyor belts of the day's work. I smell the strong scent of oil from repairs and and builds of Model Ts about to leave this facility. What do I hear? I hear the faint groaning of the building against the winds that whistle outside. And I hear an echo of every sound and every skitter in this entirely empty facility. I've chosen this place because I know I will be alone. Wintry is going to accidentally summon a virtual demon to infect her computer. Maybe. Thank you for the additions, Jason. Oil, gasoline, and burnt rubber. Yes, that's exactly what this is. I cannot answer for the dead because I'm not playing the dead, but if you feel like pretending to be the dead in chat, by all means, this is your prompt. You died recently and are new to the realm of the dead. Briefly describe that realm. What can you see, hear, or smell? How is it similar to the world or different from the world you left behind? And remember, your aim for this game is to own my soul. This is your prompt if you wish to answer it. I'll continue with mine. Place your index finger on the star coin. At some time before dying, your friend gave you an important object represented by this coin. Describe the object. The object that my friend left to me, appropriately enough and thematically enough, is a set of car keys. Before they died, they told me that there would be a vehicle that they left for me that they've been working on for a very long time. And one day they and myself would both ride out of here into the great sunset and live a life that we have never had the opportunity to live. One bold and adventurous on the great highways of 1920s America. All I have from the funeral I attended of his death was the car keys left in my name. So that will be my precious object. The coins are ritual objects. Over the course of the ritual, the circle coin travels around the circle, visiting each of the 4 cardinal directions. At the same time, the star coin travels to each of the 5 points of the pentagram. Together, 2 coins mark the passage of time and the character's journey through the elements. And I'll read a couple of suggestions for the dead section. First, I'll read Splotchy Ink. It's calmer, cozy. It still creaks, but the chaos of the outside world seems to be as dead as my corpse over here. Jason writes, the smell of ash and cinder, yet fleeting smells of life, the kiss of a breeze or a glint of warmth. Lope writes, the realm of the dead is that of a starry night. The water fills the color of the universe. Ooh, I dig that. I love that. Splotchy Ink says, also, if you want a good idea of the kind of car a custom 1920s vehicle will be, remember Chitty 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 Bang Bang was originally a race car of that time period, minus the wings. Jason has suggestions for the motivations of my character, and I appreciate that. And I won't confirm it or deny it. For the rest of the game, whenever the circle coin moves around the circle, both players hum softly. For the rest of the game, whenever the star coin moves into a different direction, a dead says a word from beyond, followed by a single word. Example, moonrise, betrayal. Ritual of Earth. The living and the dead remember their shared community before the death. The living. Invoke Earth with the following 3 motions. First, to form the invoking pentagram of Earth, place your index finger on the spirit point of the pentagram. Spirit points. Then moving towards Earth, trace the entire pentagram with your finger. Oh, so it's like this diagram over here. Trace the star with your finger. Second, move the star coin to the Earth point of the pentagram. So that means moving that to here. So it would look like that. Third, slide the circle coin around the circle counterclockwise to the north, the cardinal direction of Earth. So yeah, so you would slide it to the left, to the north position. Cool. The living. Shuffle the diamonds, disc, pentacles, suit of cards. If you are using mundane cards, include 1 joker. Everyone each draw 2 random cards and look at them. Taking turns, name and briefly describe 2 people in your shared community using the prompts in the Earth legend that correspond to the cards you have drawn. Write each new character's name and traits in one of the designated spaces around the pentagram. So let's do that. I'm going to draw 2 cards from a deck of cards. Random card draw. So I'm going to draw 2 cards. First card. Bounce it to chat. Bounce it to stream. First card is a 2. Second card is a 10. Okay, sure. Let's see. I need to describe 2 people from the Earth legend. First is 2. Someone enthusiastic and confused. And the second one, wait, I can highlight this, is someone intelligent and forgotten. And these are 2 people in our shared community. So 2 people we knew. Interesting. First person, enthusiastic and confused. The person I want to speak of in terms of someone enthusiastic and confused within both of our friend circles is Mr. Willoughby. Mr. Willoughby is a kind, gentle soul. Somebody who is never one to complain, but always proper-mannered, always as accommodating as possible, and an easy friend to make in this rough and tumble city. My friend, you and I both found this person and quickly found purpose to befriend them because they are the heir of a very wealthy fortune. They, within the next 5 years, are going to come upon some very an exorbitant amount of money, maybe earlier than 5 years, if their parents were to have an untimely end. Of course, they shouldn't. And, within 5 years, as a designated date within the contract, they are to inherit this fortune. But if we become friends with them now, they'll be more than happy to fund our project, which is this incredible car that we plan to build. Mr. Willoughby is enthralled by our knowledge of the industrial innovation that's occurring within the factory we work in. So much so that we can just make stuff up, and he entirely believes it. We convince Mr. Willoughby that this vehicle will not only drive double the speed of any Model T on the road, but also fly and traverse lakes and rivers with ease. Entranced by our ideas of technological innovation, they have agreed to fund this venture, and were the first and most important benefactor of a project that lasted for the better part of a decade. And that is my friend and our shared acquaintance from Roll 2. Now we're looking at Roll 10, someone intelligent and forgotten. Now, this friend is one we knew years past. Once we had all but confirmed the funding from Mr. Willoughby, we had big dreams for what this vehicle would be, but we weren't as smart as we touted. We barely knew anything about building a car. So we turned to somebody who did. One of the chief engineers of the factory that we worked at had grand plans for the coming models in the next few years, and had blueprints spread all over their workshop of what would be the newest innovations of the company for the years to come. Unfortunately for them, a good number of these blueprints disappeared mysteriously during the nighttime. And while brilliant this inventor was, they were not at all diligent in keeping notes. With years of blueprints stolen away from them, they were quickly fired from their position and expelled from the company. And I don't believe we've ever heard from them again. Well, we've got our money and we've got our blueprints. It was time to put our plan to action. So, those are the two acquaintances I want to do. And we would write them into this slot, I suppose. So we would put it here. Can I write text here? Add, insert text cursor. Mr. Willoughby. And then that's good. And then here, I don't know. We can call him Claxton. Chief X Engineer. Right? Oh, I'm so sorry. These are the two people I have added to my list. So it is Mr. Willoughby, the generous but naive benefactor, and Claxton, the ex-engineer who designed our car prototypes and was fired for losing the blueprints. You can also have two people if you'd like, but I think I'm going to move forward with what I want to read. Let's see. If you'd like to pick people, you're more than welcome to. Over here. I could take 2 examples from chat actually. Let me see. What did chat have? Oh, well. If you guys have 2 people you would like to add to this, to our chart, you're more than welcome to. I believe you get 2 names. Yeah, you also get 2 names. So as this ritual is happening, the memories are beginning to stir up the environment in the realm of the dead. What changes are developing around you? So there's something happening on your end of the afterlife. And for me, as I complete the ritual of Earth, my body feels somehow different. Describe the sensations. I feel like I'm digging through all of these past memories and these names and faces I haven't spoken in a good long time. For a moment, they seem present and almost ethereally watching me from a vantage point, and I know they aren't. I know that's all in my imagination, but in my head, I feel as though they have their opinions of me in this moment. If they were to see me now, they'd certainly feel certain ways. Mr. Willoughby would be confused, as he always is. The engineer would be rightfully angry at his blueprints being used to malevolent ends. But I feel a bit nervous and a bit guilted, sure, but ultimately means to an end, right? Let's see here. Splotchy Ink adds Mr. Samsonite, the security guard we bribed. He's tired and overworked but lets us in and doesn't tell anyone. I can add Mr. Samsonite to the list, sure. Mr. Samsonite guard. I'll just put that there. There you go. All right, ritual of water. Like a eulogy, the living and the dead remember the details of their friendship. The living. Invoke water with the following 3 motions. First, to form an invoking pentagram of water, place your index finger on the air point of the pentagram. Then, moving towards water, trace the entire pentagram with your finger. Second, move the star coin to the water point of the pentagram. So that'd be here. Oh, water point. Third, slide the circle coin to the counterclockwise to the west, the cardinal direction of water. Shuffle the hearts to cards. Everyone, each draw a card, look at it, and describe a past scene from your friendship that corresponds to the prompts of the water legend. Although the scene is primarily about you and your friend, it must also include at least 1 community member from the paper. You still only see the card? For real? I'm sure my screen says I'm showing the PDF now. Yes, no? Can anyone else see the PDF? Okay, I was gonna say. Okay. So it has to include 1 community member. I'm going to draw another card, and we'll see what happens here. This might be a bad time to reload because I'm literally switching back to the card. I'll do this real quick. It's a 3. Okay. So we are doing your friend brought you to a party. Okay. Seems simple enough. I sit down with this diagram in front of my face. The quiet of the factory surrounding me, and I remember more cheerful, livelier times. I remember an event 7 or 8 years ago. We were still warming up to Mr. Willoughby and making sure we get invited to all of his lavish events. we're invited to this massive mansion of the movers and shakers of the city. We're dressed to the 9s or the 8s or the 7s, depending on what we could afford in terms of our button downs and coats. And you, my friend, were the person who confirmed the invite with Mr. Willoughby. You've always been the better talker than me. You've always been able to network flawlessly, your voice like wine amongst the popular crowds. And during this party, you brought us from group to group to group, allowing them to learn our names and our faces and cementing us in a socialite society. It was incredible the way you worked the crowd. And I realized that although most of this was my plans and my ideas, you were the one who put them into motion. You were the one who knew how to best bring them to life. And I always admired that. I'd like to take this opportunity to return the favor and see you in person one more time. To see life in those eyes. And we can reminisce together. Thumper says, word from the dead, ignition. We had a wonderful time at this party. But as we were leaving, we of course leave the large lot, the plot of land owned by Mr. Willoughby's folks, and the number of fancy vehicles parked on the outside. You could hear the rev of the engines, and even in the revelry of the night, hearing the click of those keys turn and the burning of fuel filling the night air, we were reminded what we were doing this for. To grab fame and fortune for ourselves and build the vehicle that would allow us to do so. Taryn says, don't forget your goal here, Wintry. You're supposed to be aiming for power. I am. Wait for it. You guys are welcome to think of a water memory. These are the list of memories. If you'd like to see them again, I can scroll past them slowly if you'd like to read them over. There you go. Repeat part C would build on the existing story using the cards prompt however you wish. Okay, we're going to keep building. Let's pull another card. Ace. Exciting. Ace. Your earliest memory of your friend? Where the heck did we meet? I think in the evening air of that night. Leaving a parking lot full of these luxurious vehicles. The earliest memory of you that I have is at the top of a tall grassy hill. We were barely grade school. Still filled with big dreams. I remember pulling a wagon up this tall hill, spending the better part of half an hour getting all the way to the top. Just to ride it down for 30 seconds. You would let me sit in front and be the pilot. and make sure we arrive at the bottom safely. You would sit in the back, but only after pushing as hard as you could, building as much speed as possible before jumping in right behind me. And sometimes this non-engine powered, four-wheeled red wagon would make it all the way to the bottom, but most of the time we'd twist and turn and swerve down the down the uneven surface of the hill, and one of us would tumble out, rolling to the wayside on the grass as the vehicle continues its descent. In this moment in time, sometimes I wonder if here and now if I'm the one in the driver's seat of the wagon, or if I'm the one that went tumbling to the wayside. Word of the dead clutch? Yeah, easy enough. The cold metal of the keys gripped in my hand wakes me back to the present. As a wind blows through the window and shifts some of the salt that I've poured in a circle. Your final memento, I clutch it close. We had a dream to fulfill. And even if you died before we both were able to see it to fruition, I know that we can bring this back and pull it all together, you and I. I just need a little bit more of your help. The living. As you complete the ritual of water, the weather begins to change. Describe what you see, hear, or smell. Oh, we kind of did that. Yeah. I would hear the rattling of wind on the window panes of this empty factory. Everything would creak and groan a little bit louder. And I could hear something falling in the back of the factory. Maybe a metal pan or sheet. Maybe something's toppled over in the shaking and the wind that slips through the cracks of the walls. It's not my concern. It does startle me for a moment, but it's not something that I'm paying too much attention to. All right. Fire and air. The living. Place your right index finger on the star coin. Why is this object so important to you? Well, in the last few months of our friendship, you had taken to working on the vehicle quietly. And in private, you told me that you needed time alone with it. To work on it in peace without any distractions, not even me. You were always the better technician. You were always the better fixer-upper. And although I had grand dreams for what this vehicle would look like, you knew how to make it happen better than I did. Almost as good as that inventor did so many years ago. To leave me with the car keys after your death means that, one, you believe I deserve to see the results of your labor, and two, you believe that these keys will turn the vehicle on, which makes me hopeful that you finished before your passing. All I need to know is where it is. The dead. For you. There's a secret about this object, the car keys, that your friend, me, does not know. What is the secret? Whew, I just got chills. I just got chills. Ooh, okay. So to paint a picture, you guys, we've been working on the greatest vehicle ever for the past 10 years. And I hold the car keys of this vehicle that you gave to me in your passing. But I don't know where the vehicle is. My plan is to revive you so that I can get this car and drive it. I don't know anything about this car. I just know that you've been working on it for months without me. What is the secret that I don't know about it? Spooky. I'll let you guys muse on that. Ritual of fire. To summon the dead into conversation with the living, both friends recall the death. This section establishes the cause of death, or, if it has already been established, the complicating details. The living. Invoke fire with the following 3 motions, and these are the motions. The dead. Oh, it starts with you. The dead. Draw 2 cards randomly, look at them, and answer the following questions using the details that correspond to the card in the fire legend. How did you die? In old age or in youth? By natural or unnatural causes? Violently or at peace? Describe your final living moments. You tell me. I'm seeing in chat Jason saying they are made from the car keys are made from someone's soul. That's how we got it to work. We did the same ritual to get the car to work, and it's the fact that it takes a soul to turn it on. I feel like that is a precursor to how you died. Certainly has some implications. Thumper suggested it could be a car crash, which makes sense. If anyone has any suggestions, feel free to drop it in chat. Splodgy ink. Something to do with the glycerin of nitro. Okay, so I'm getting some visions from what you guys are pitching. Jason has some imagery that there is soul shenanigans at work. That this vehicle of our dreams truly required a soul to turn on. From what Thumper is implying, the car came to life. The car worked. But the death that came of it resulted in a car crash. What if, to finish the car, the friend had to take a life and did so in a collision of our car and theirs? Sure. I'll take those details and go to mine. Describe the events of the day your friend died. Did you witness the death or hear about it secondhand? How did you feel and what did you do? I'm gonna pull 2 cards and see. Look at that! Oh my gosh! Look, you're Thumper. It's you right here. A collision. Wild. Look at that. If we draw a jack in this 2-card draw, it'd be fate. I'm drawing 2 cards. King. 9. Okay. King and 9. The details we have are 9, a survivor, and King, an order. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Okay. This is the story I see taking place. From the friend's perspective, this is not knowledge that I have. The friend followed the blueprints to a T. And only when they got to the very, very end they truly understood the magnitude of what the blueprints were asking for. The blueprints required a different source of fuel, one that is not oil, no one that is not gasoline or any sort of fire, but one more ethereal in nature. The car needed to bond to a person in an almost magical sense. The final ingredient to finishing the car was for it to bind to a person. That is the order. But perhaps this request was misinterpreted. My friend took the car for a drive, believing that perhaps this bond is formed while driving, and the engine roared to life despite having no gasoline. Once a friend touched a wheel, it came alive, and my friend took off through the streets, speeding up faster and faster, passing corners, flying past everyone else driving on the road. This was a monster that we built, and truly the most powerful car either of us could have ever dreamed of, and truly a work of some sort of occult magic that it was driving in the first place with no gasoline and no proper fuel for the engine. I received news later that day of a loud explosion towards the south of the city. A plume of smoke that everyone could see rising into the clouds. News reporters say that a car, or the remnants of one, were found in the center of the street. The car that caused the damage, nowhere to be found. The driver of the car that caused the collision, nowhere to be found. But there was a survivor. Despite the car that was being collided into being entirely in shambles, the driver of it left scot-free. They saw the car for only a moment, roaring towards them, flying down the street, a burst of flame like a phoenix. Entirely too fast to react to. A slam on the brakes, catching that word from the dead, the brakes. A slam on the brakes stopped this car in the middle of the road, and like the call of the hells itself, a massive crash slammed to the side. The man survived, but only with a glimpse of the other vehicle, and a memory filled with the flames of the accident. The car is gone. My friend closed casket funeral. A difficult time and one that confused me. I think we'll leave it at that. I think that makes sense. In response to these memories, you're catching a glimpse back into the world of the living. Describe what you see, hear, and smell. As you complete the ritual of fire, hints at the dead realm are gathering within the circle. Describe what you see, hear, and smell. I think the most obvious answer is that I see and I smell fire. I smell smoke. The collision appearing at the forefront of my mind, the flames of the event illuminating my irises. Something happened to the car, something happened to the driver. Last section. Summoning the dead. You're about to conjure your dead friend into the circle of salt. Set the scene for this act of magic by answering the following questions. How much time has passed since your friend died? What is happening in your life now? What led up to performing this ritual? How did you acquire the power to summon the dead? Let's answer this very simply. It's only been a couple of months since my friend died, and the ritual that I found and followed the instructions to perform was in the pile of blueprints left behind by my friend. Along next to all these blue pages with sketched out equations and sketches of parts of a car, I found this piece of paper that explained all of these steps. It was labeled "in case of emergency." Oh, Jason, you're on the same page as me. I found it in his notes. That's exactly it. It was only through multiple readings pouring through his notes over and over and over again that I realized what this was. And only now, months later, did I have the courage to attempt it. I needed answers. What happened to a decade's worth of work? What happened to my friend? So this is my first act of magic. I am, after all, a new necromancer. Okay. Turn the star coin back over on the fire point of the pentagram, placing your right index finger on the star coin, and repeat this magical formula 3 times. Oh my gosh, if I had some cool OBS stream prank, I would do it right now, but I don't. Alright. I sit inside a car factory. I have my fingers pressed upon car keys in the center of the circle of salt. I hear the sound of wind against the window frames. I smell asphalt and fire. I don't know my friend's name, so I'll just say friend. Beloved friend, thou who perished by car crash. Let's try that again. Beloved friend, thou who perished by collision, through these car keys I conjure thee. Beloved friend, thou who perished by collision, through these car keys I conjure thee. Beloved friend, thou who perished by collision, through these keys I conjure thee. Now, I'm going to leave it to chat. You guys tell me. What do I see appear in this circle? What is summoned? And from there... Oh, thank you, Splotchy Ink. I appreciate that. I did not know what blueprints were. Tell me what I see, and I'll describe how this goes down. And this ultimately at the end, I believe, is the living and the dead draw weapons for the final battle. Oh my gosh, weapons. Terrifying. Ooh, okay. I got three people's suggestions, and I'll read them all. So as I finish repeating this phrase 3 times, I hear the sounds of engines roaring. Surprisingly, it's not in my mind's eye, but I can hear it physically nearby. This car is not too far away from where this ritual is happening. Lope adds, in addition to this engine not being too far away, I also hear it reverberating in my mind as if The fire that I can smell is roaring. There is a starry sky that surrounds us, filling my mind's eye with not the roof of this factory, but with in fact the entirety of the cosmos. I can see on the floor where the ritual was taking place, oil spilling out, slowly spreading in a larger and larger pile until my shoes are coated with this blackish ink. I can see rising up around me these fumes that begin to fill the air, occluding my vision of any of the factory. The machinery and the walls and the windows are hidden by this cloud of smoke, and in front of me, I see, rising from the black liquid of the oil, ignited with the flames of the afterlife, with a heart that roars like an engine. I see my friend. And quickly, they move towards me. Okay. Let's do this final ritual. Thank you for the visuals. I appreciate that. I feel like I pieced that together decently well. You guys have some fantastic visuals of what this thing looks like. Living in the dead draw weapons for the final battle. These are the hand patterns you need to do. Shuffle the swords, spade, suit of cards. If you're using mundane cards, including Joker, and randomly draw 4 cards each, but you will only use 3 of them. These correspond to the weapons in the Air Legend that are available to use in battle. Each weapon card has a literal meaning and an abstract meaning. You may choose which you prefer to use when you play the card. Air Legend, a blindfold or darkness. Okay, cool. The living. Flip the star coin. If it just lands heads up, the coin living. Heads up, living will go first. Tails up, dead goes first. Oh, great. Okay, so I'm gonna flip a coin. See who goes first. I'm heads, by the way. Coin flip. Tails. Okay, tails, you guys go first. I'm going to draw you 3 weapons. And you guys can choose what these look like and how you use them. Pick whichever you resonate with most. 6, 4, and Jack. So your weapons are a map of the dead realm, a rune-covered box, and an animal or passion. If you want to use any of these in our upcoming conflict, be sure to tell me what they look like. Oh, we draw one more weapon. I'm sorry. You get 1 more. 3. I also get a vial of blood or loyalty. There. And then I'll do mine. I have 2, 3, ace, and 4. Oh, so you have a little bit of overlap. 2. I'll color these blue for me. 2, 3, 4, and ace. Oh, I got a sword. Let's go. Okay. All right. We'll take Jason's first. Jason will move first. Map of the Dead Realm. A racetrack used for souls to race on. Winner goes to heaven, the rest to hell. Okay. My friend shows me a vision. I am vaulted from where I stand into the grand expanse of the cosmos, the starry sky that surrounds me, and I am revealed an eternal racetrack, a vehicle meant not to ride on the streets of whatever city we may live in, but on the star trails of the galaxies. This is a cosmic race, and one that determines whether we live life in paradise or in eternal damnation. It is a vivid vivid memory. And I am thrown aback by the grand scheme of what my friend has eventually built. I respond with with a blindfold or darkness. I look to my friend and I look to the grand racetrack of the afterlife and I say, I don't want to race in that. I want to keep living. In fact, I want to use the vehicle that we built together to grant fame and fortune in this world, one that we are already very familiar with. I need you to help bring our dream to reality so that your death will not be in vain. Wherever that vehicle may be, I need it now, and I need you to tell me where it is. I choose not to see this vision of what this car was made for, but I will instead use it for my own purposes and willingly be blind to what you set it out to be made for. Splotchy Ink said sword's kind of useless at a racetrack. Unless you think of chariots. True. Lope responds. Box filled with star and a miniature galaxy steam train. I don't see that. Oh, box here. Box. Rune covered box or prayer. So this will be the next one. Okay. My friend reveals to me that this racetrack, towards the end of it, there is a box filled with these same stars. And I see, towards the future, what my friend is trying to show me. The victor of this eternal cosmic race earns a gift within this box. The stars representing the vastness of the universe, the limitlessness of power that you could win that you could earn for yourself if you were to win this race. There is a prize that is perhaps even greater than paradise. Something to be vied for, something to look for and achieve. Bigger than any aspirations we can find on this simple earth. I'm enlightened to the grandness of my friend's plan. And still not yet ready to forfeit my life and participate. I'll respond with Ace, an enchanted sword or a higher authority. And here I say in this moment, you are my friend, and I thank you for this vision. But let's not forget, I live, and you are dead. Should I choose, I can forget you ever existed. I can live the life that I've always wanted. And it's unfortunate that you died before you got there. But so close to my finish line, I won't forfeit a decade of work for this new race you wish to run. You are my closest and most important person. Greater than anyone I've ever known. But if it comes to which of us is the higher authority, I believe it to be the one who still lives and breathes. I will make the final decision. not you. And that's where we stand. With that said, I'll call on chat to decide what happens here. I want to keep living and achieve the fame and fortune of this world with the vehicle that we work to make. You as a friend have enlightened to the vastness of the afterlife and wish to race with the vehicle for what it was built for. To achieve something enormously important in the afterlife. And I refuse to allow my life to be decided by a friend who is already dead. Ooh, okay. 2 things appeared in chat. Jason and Splotchy Yang, thank you for powering the story. Jason says, then give us your soul and we will submit to be the soul that powers your car as long as you can live. But when you die, your soul is mine. And when your soul is mine, you shall power my way to victory. Ooh, ooh, I like that. I like that. Oh my gosh, I got chills. Okay. You as the friend say, the vehicle that we have created requires a soul to exist and move. I will leave you to achieve your goals in life, and I will power this machine for as long as you draw breath. But when that moment finally comes, when death comes for you, and the darkness of the afterlife embraces you as it has me, the vehicle beyond the grave will be powered by you. And I will drive us to infinite glory. And I, talking to you, the friend, put my hand out to seal the deal. I ask you now, chat, do you accept my handshake? Ooh, I'm waiting on chat. Someone give me an answer. Do we strike the deal? Lope says hug. That guy on YouTube coming from the darkness. Where have you been? Oh, there. You say it. You've been in chat since 9:39. I love. Okay, you've been in chat since 10 minutes ago. Love it. And you know what? Someone mentioned in chat. Who is this? Who said it? Someone mentioned that there is a. Oh, Taryn said, call upon your loyalty as the third card. Yeah, we both drew a 3. We both drew a vial of blood or loyalty. So I'll say, as this handshake is made, your hand burns with the fiery cosmic flame, and a stream of blood begins to drip from my hand. And both of us, with the ether of the cosmos and my red and real blood, spill onto the pentagram on the floor, spill onto the ritual circle, collecting in a small container similar to where you would put gasoline into an engine. The deal is made. there is a small embrace, as close as one could hug a being entirely of oil and flame. The friend disappears. The winds die down, the smell dissipates. And just outside the door of this factory, I see the most beautiful vehicle I have ever encountered. Striking in a dark decal similar to a starry sky. I see the manifestations of blueprints that we have pored over for years and years. And of course, I see a set of keys in the ignition and an engine already roaring to life. I take my seat behind the wheel in the vehicle powered by my friend from beyond the grave. And I step on the gas. And when my death comes, whether it be in a decade, a year, a month, a week, maybe in a few minutes, our roles will be reversed. I will fall from the wagon, and you will take your rightful place in the driver's seat. Just like old times. And that's it for Dead Friend. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this game and making it so wonderful. That was not where I expected to go with this stream. But you guys kind of pieced it together. A wonderful story told over the span of, what was that, an hour? Thank you guys for filling in the blanks in a place where I don't I don't have full control of the story. That's the beauty of a duet game. That's the magic of a two-player RPG, where you are either telling the story or receiving the story, and all parts wonderful. Thank you guys for tuning in. I don't know what we're covering next week, but I look forward to it. Again, if you want to check this game out and play it with your friends, you could find it on itch.io. Made by Lucian Khan. You can find it here or on Indie Press Revolution. You can also find it here. You can find it in physical print or in PDF. It's a wonderful game. And it's only 15 pages, so you could teach any of your friends to do exactly this. Have a wonderful night. Don't have too many nightmares. And of course, everyone, drive safe.